morning, everyone. Welcome back to World Class Inventors. This is video number 7 in the series. We're going to get ready to now start to vet your idea. And that's going to be in the very next video. But I wanted to wrap up everything in a nice, neat little bow with this video series. And I wanted to share something with you that I think is bothering you, but you might not be cognizant of. So we talked about in the prior videos, ideas, how they come, how it's necessary for you to get excited about it, how to claim it, how to keep it a secret. I went on and I covered some impediments, such as how much does this cost to get a patent, a trademark, a copyright. So I leveled the playing field about fees. I told you and I encouraged you to do this on your own. You'll be more successful if you're the captain of this particular ship. I advise you not to waste your time and your money making superfluous phone calls to attorneys, and I steered you clear of invention help sites, which you may or may not have already understood. And then I brought you up to speed as to who I might be, and I introduced my website, my books, and what I propose to be doing on this particular channel in order to help you become an inventor, a product developer, and walking in your dream. Now, we are going to get to vetting your idea in this very next video, but I want to talk about one last impediment. And I know it's rattling around in your heart and in your brain. And it's called the fear of failure. You see, anybody who wants to think outside of the box is a little creative, a little bit of a risk taker, like any would-be backyard inventor might be. You're chased by this demon called the fear of failure, and he or she is going to be on your heels the entire time you are doing this. Don't feel uneasy about it. Just recognize a feeling and put your stick in the ground and say, I'm not going to be deterred. I'm going to be going on with this until I get to where I want to go. Now, let me give you a perfect example. As I told you, I watch YouTube quite a little bit, and Elon Musk has been coming into my feed, and I haven't been searching him out, but he just happens to be there. And I've done a little research, and I think this guy has 3 separate YouTube channels. I get a kick out of that. Doesn't really matter what you think about him, whether he's a great innovator or one of the wealthiest men in the world, or maybe you don't like his tweets, or whatever. But all I can say, and it's not an exhaustive study, I think he is the closest person around that is the embodiment of Henry Ford of old. He's an innovator, and he thinks outside the box. Now here's the key. If you have a position in his company, a position of responsibility, you're an engineer, you're a product developer, you're in charge of assembly. He wants you to think outside the box. He wants you to be creative. He wants you to take chances. He wants you to be a risk taker. And if you choose not to be, if you keep it close to your vest while you're under his employment and you don't take chances, he will fire you. And that's his hallmark. He will fire you if you're not innovative, creative, and a risk taker. And out of the other side of his mouth, he will tell you flat out, there's no price to be paid. You're not going to lose your job. You're not going to get demoted if you take a risk and you happen to fall on your face. You see, you have to take risks and you have to be willing to fall on your face in order to get ahead. I think we all know that. We've heard that by a million other people. He comes right out and says that. I can tell you, based upon my experience, breaking into a very tightly knit industry where there was no major innovation prior to me breaking through. It was a closely held business. The proper word is an oligopoly, which means there's very little freedom of entry, and it was borderline a monopoly. They weren't looking for any outside ideas. And they have this wall put up around their industrial castle, and it's called NIH. Now, you may or may not have ever heard of NIH. It's called Not Invented Here, but it's real. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you're going to have NIH snapping at your heels depending on what your technology is, depending on what industry it is, depending on what market type it is. And you're also going to have your personal demon that's going by the name of fear of failure. These are natural things. These are things that we have to overcome as inventors, and it's totally doable. So I just wanted to clear that up in a very quick little video and let you know that, hey, don't put this off. If you have an idea, it's normal to be scared. It's normal to have apprehension. It's normal to have the fear of failure nipping at your heels. And yes, it is totally normal for you to say, well, gee, if I perfect this idea and I protect it, I get a patent, a trademark, a copyright, whatever, and I build a prototype and I'm ready to go, I'm going to be sailing into some headwinds. And yes, that's true. That's just the way the world works. But eventually, you'll break through. It's no different than any other inventor that's ever gone before you, myself included. And I just wanted to leave you with that little bit of tidbit before we launch into the next phase of our journey, which is going to be vetting of your idea. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot, and God bless.